Hi everyone and welcome to this video with me, Gail from Sober Bliss. Today I'm going to teach you a very powerful technique to help you get through a craving. And this technique is known as urge surfing. You've probably heard of it before. And all that means is that instead of trying to run away from our cravings or distract ourselves from them, or ignore the craving altogether, it means that we sit with it. It means that we are with the uncomfortable feeling, and it's an opportunity to just observe what's going on. And it's a bit like riding the wave of feelings and emotions, which is why it's called urge surfing. Now, this technique for getting through cravings, dealing with cravings, is the most powerful and effective way to manage the craving because we are actually facing them. We are actually looking at them head on and dealing with them. And this means that although um, you might feel uncomfortable and you will have to sit through a period of difficulty, the more you do it, and the more that you see that actually there's nothing really bad or scary about the craving, they get easier to handle. They begin to lose their power. And you, as a result, become stronger and more empowered every time you do this. And the stronger you get, the less powerful the craving will get until eventually it will just fade away into nothingness. And why is this important? Well, cravings are often the thing that we struggle with the most, especially in the early days of giving up drinking or anything really. And then an intense craving can trigger thoughts, and it's these thoughts, not the actual craving itself, but the thoughts associated with the sensation that the craving brings about in us that can lead us to the fridge or jumping in the car and going to the shop when we said we wouldn't. So this technique, urge surfing, will help us to get out of our heads in a good way and drop into our bodies and focus on the physical sensation of the craving itself. And then we can learn how to get through them, move past them, riding the wave, as I said, um, very, very quickly. And that's what I'm going to teach you today, how to ride out a craving, how to surf the urge. And it's really going to help you. Um, Now, you don't have to wait for an actual craving to come up in order to learn this technique or practice this technique. We're going to do it together right now. And once you've learned how to do it, then you can practice it anytime. Again, you don't have to wait for an actual craving for alcohol. It will work with any kind of annoying sensation, like an itchy foot or, that itch between our shoulder blades that you just can't get. It's going to work with anything like that. And the more you practice it, obviously when a real craving comes, you'll be able to manage it so much better. So the idea of surfing the urge or riding the wave of the craving is to really focus on it, to get really clear and detailed about it, and to describe to ourselves exactly what's going on, how we're feeling, and the sensations that we are experiencing. I suppose it's a bit like being a scientist in a way. We're just observing, noticing, understanding, with no judgment at all. That way, the craving is more like a thing that we are experiencing over there. It's not actually us or having an effect on us. We're trying to separate ourselves from it. And you will see that the craving is not scary, it can't hurt you, and it will begin to lose its power. Remember, the craving is just a sensation. It can't make you do anything you don't want to do, can't hurt you, as I said, You are in control and you can get through it. Okay, so let's practice together. First of all, I'm scratching my nose because that's what I'm thinking of. First of all, you need to conjure up an annoying or uncomfortable feeling, like an itchy nose. um, or maybe you are having a craving right now and this is perfect timing. So tune into it. Tune into an actual craving you might be having, not necessarily for alcohol. It could be for a biscuit or Nutella on toast. Maybe focus on the itchy nose or the tingle behind your left knee or the urge to scratch the end of your left toe. Anything that is coming into focus right now. So once you've got something, have you got something? Great. So we're just going to lean into it first of all. That's what we need to do. Just sit still and just really notice the feeling or the sensation. Focus on the itch, the tickle, the tingle or the dull ache. Maybe it's dull like a thud, or maybe it's sharp, or maybe you're feeling it just somewhere deep inside. I can really feel a tickle on the left side of my nose right now. So that's the next thing. Where is it? Where is it in your body? And how does it feel? For me, it feels really tickly. What about you? What's your sensation like? Is it painful? Is it tight? Is it like an ache? And go really wild here with your adjectives and try and describe in as much detail how it feels and where it is. So is it sharp? Is it dull? Is it tingly or is it like a flutter? Is it big? Is it small? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it bright and vibrant or dark and flat? Does it feel like, I don't know, a storm or deep feeling of dread? Or does it feel gentle? No judgment here, no attachment, just however it feels is perfect. It's fine. So just notice the feeling. Don't attach any thoughts to it. Just notice it. And notice if the sensation, if the feeling is small, is it pinpointed in a specific spot, like here, right on the side of my nose? Or is it right at the end of your big toe? Or is it just right behind the knee or on your kneecap? Or is it at the end of your thumb, Or is it more widespread? And does it cover a big area and are the edges blurry? Does it kind of blend in to the rest of, of your body? So really notice where it is and how it feels. How big is it? Is it right on the end of your left elbow? Is it the feeling, that covers the entire part of your body underneath your belly button? Or is it your whole back or your whole left thigh? Where is it? And how does it feel? Is it weak? Is it strong? Is it forceful? Is it getting stronger right now? So when you've got the feeling, the sensation, this is the time we just sit with it. So first of all, we really notice it. Okay, we really go into as much detail as we can. Don't try and change it. Don't try and explain it. Don't attach any thoughts to it at all. And then we just sit with it and we breathe deeply here for a few cycle of breaths. And this is when you begin to lean into the craving and you really feel it. And if this is uncomfortable, it's okay. What we're going to do now is help each other to get through it, to ride it. This is the surfing bit of the urge surfing. So keep breathing at this point, keep reassuring yourself that it's okay, it will pass, it can't hurt you. So just breathe deeply, lean into the sensation at this point. So when you breathe in, you might feel the urge or the craving building, and you notice everything about it. And then when you breathe out, just try and let it go. So it's like, the wave, sort of sitting with it and then letting it go with every breath. So keep breathing, keep noticing, and tune into the sensation. Is it increasing in strength and power with, every in breath? And is it decreasing with every out breath? Our breath is extremely powerful, and we can often control our mood, our emotions with our breath. So if you can, try and sync your breath with the craving. Try and get the two to be aligned. So as you breathe out, you're gently releasing the craving each time. So when you breathe in, you're really feeling it. And when you breathe out, you're letting it go. So keep breathing, keep noticing, focusing on the sensation. Now, at this point, you can get even more curious if you like. This is not a meditation. There will be another meditation to guide you through it step by step, but this is just, a video explaining how to do it. So feel free at this point to maybe get out a journal and start writing. Writing through the craving is really powerful, and especially when you combine it with the urge surfing part of it. So get really curious and go into all the detail of all the sensations. You might want to maybe talk into your phone instead of writing, or if there's somebody there with you, you can explain to them exactly what's going on in your body right now and how you're feeling. Again, this is just another way of bringing it into focus, into awareness, and taking away its power. So keep breathing, tune in, and do this for maybe another, I don't know, 3 or 4 breaths, another few breath cycles, and notice how you're feeling. Notice how the craving is. Is it still really intense? Or is it starting to decrease? Is it starting to lose its power a little bit here? And keep noticing in detail the changes. So think back to how it was before. If it was covering a big area, is that area now smaller? If the sensation was, quite sharp and painful at the end of your big toe, for example, how does it feel now? Keep noticing, keep breathing, and being mindful all the time until the feeling passes. And you will probably notice that the waves are, while they're still coming and going, they might be getting a little less now. They might be feeling a little less powerful. So right at the beginning, when we first focused on the sensation, it might have felt quite powerful, quite strong, quite loud, like waves in a storm crashing against the rocks, really violent and strong and powerful. But now, as time's gone on, you might notice that they've started to slow down a little bit. They've started to calm down until eventually we want to get to the point where the waves start to feel like a gentle lapping on the shoreline, fading away into nothing. So just to recap, that's what we're doing here. We're breathing in as the craving comes, and then we're letting it go, releasing it as we breathe out. And the more we do that, the more we lean into it, then the less powerful the craving becomes. The more power we have, and the less power it has over us. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And you will find that over time, not only do the cravings get less intense, they will become less frequent. So there'll be more time between cravings. And when they do come, they won't feel quite as scary or as big or as strong anymore. So you can gradually begin to release the sensation with your breath. As you're breathing in, breathing out, just gently release and let it go. And remember, if it hasn't gone, go right back to the beginning and just focus again. Keep doing it until the craving disappears altogether. And that is how you surf the urge or ride the wave of a craving. Well done. You've just done it. And you can practice it with any kind of sensation. As I said, an actual craving or an itch on the end of your nose. Mine's gone, by the way, no longer itchy. So lean into it, lean into the discomfort. And I promise that each time you do it, you're going to get stronger and stronger and stronger until eventually cravings will not be something to worry you or to scare you anymore. So take a deep breath in now and release. Well done.